Hello everybody, this is Albert with Green Tea House. I hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to talk about ginger pu'er tea. Now before we begin, I highly recommend you check out our back catalog of episodes, and I'll make sure I put some banners up here that are germane to this topic. So we're continuing the series on teas that we sell, do a quick highlight on them and a little 101 on them. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorites. This is one of the ones I drink pretty much every day. I'll mix between this pu'er and another pu'er, but it's ginger pu'er. Ginger pu'er is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So to review, and I'll make sure I put a banner up here on what is pu'er tea or what are dark teas. Dark teas are one of the 6 categories of teas that come from the Camellia sinensis plant. Pu'er is the most famous of that, but it's just one of many of the dark teas. Pu'er is a city in southwest China that perfected a pu'er a long time ago, and therefore it's named after. It's kind of like Hershey's chocolate, almost the same thing. And we've talked about in the episode on what are tuochas, how pu'er was most of the existence of tea history was sold as tea bricks, tea cakes, and tea bird's nests, and mostly it was in cakes and bricks for a couple reasons. They were easier to transport, they were easier to carry, that was actually used as currency and other things. And then it wasn't until the Ming Dynasty where the emperor at the time made loose leaf tea the standard. So before that it was all coalesced brick cake, and most of them were pu'er, but some of them were green as well, but pu'er was very common. So also pu'er is fermented, so it is the only one of the 6 categories of tea that has an enzymatic reaction that makes it fermented. And so when you drink a pu'er tea, because of the super fermented quality, it does have its own microbiota on it. It's mostly fungus. Aspergillus is the big fungus that's on it. And don't let it dissuade you from eating it. There's a lot of probiotic food. So pu'er is a probiotic drink, but you might drink kefir, maybe not. You might have miso soup, Greek yogurt, sauerkraut if done the right way. These are all probiotic foods and they're really good for your gut health. I talked about pu'er in the episode on the 3 most healthiest teas. So if you're really worried about your microbiome, and this is something that's been new, and people really didn't know about the microbiome until recently, but if you're really concerned about not having dysbiosis and having a really good healthy gut health, which leads to ancillary benefits to your health overall, then I would implement pu'er into your diet and drink at least 3 times a week, if not daily. So with the pu'er ginger, the pu'er we're using is a strong pu'er. It is a ripe pu'er. It's not a raw pu'er, but it is a stronger flavor pu'er. And then we're mixing with ginger. Ginger kind of gives it that refreshing taste to it. And ginger in itself is healthy. It's been used for centuries, especially for digestive health. You think of ginger ale, back before it was only high fructose corn syrup, they'd actually put ginger in it. So gingerbread cookies and so forth. And so the pu'er taste itself, and I've mentioned like recently with the yellow tea, that pu'er is an acquired taste. Not everybody likes pu'er. It has a very, lack of a better word, dark, robust, earthy taste. And I think the equivalent of it in food would be 90% dark chocolate. Kind of just has a very earthy taste. But if you can develop a taste for its muskiness and it has like hints of caramel, hints of dark chocolate in it, you won't go back. And so now you mix that pu'er with ginger. If you're a big fan of ginger, then it's just a great, great taste. How should you drink it? I would steep this pretty hot, around 200 degrees. To really get the flavor of pu'er, if not at full boil. Pu'er is never a tea that you want to underheat with the water. And as usual, I would re-steep it, maybe 2.5 minutes, one steep, and then re-steep it a couple more times. Of course, that is completely up to you. You could do 2 teaspoons if you want of pu'er and steep it for 7 minutes. It's completely up to you, but I believe that you should re-steep your leaves at least a couple of times, especially if the steep time is shorter. The caffeine level is relatively high vis-a-vis other teas, so it is going to be pretty high. So maybe it's something that you don't drink at night. In closing, ginger pu'er is great. Is it better than the regular pu'er that we sell? It's just a different flavor profile because we throw in the ginger in it, and the ginger is not overwhelming. If you look at the picture of the tea leaves, you can see that it's mostly pu'er with specks of ginger. So it's just, you just get that hint of ginger, but I definitely recommend you try it out. We sell it in 1 ounce and in 3 ounce. Guys, post in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Until next time, God bless.